Washington Journal continues.
And we are back with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat of New York. He's the vice chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, serves on the Judiciary Committee, and a frequent rider of the Amtrak Acela train, the fast train from here to New York to commute back and forth to your district. What's your initial reaction to the crash in Philadelphia?
Well, it's a terrible tragedy, and certainly we mourn for the loss of life. 7 innocent individuals, Americans, who have died to date. Several others have experienced significant injuries. Hopefully, we'll continue to stand behind those families as they deal with that loss of life. We also are going to have to figure out not just the cause of the accident, whether it involved human error, whether there were structural issues that could be put in place to prevent this type of tragedy moving forward, and to figure out overall what is the best way to have a functional rail system that benefits the American people and the American taxpayer.
Is Amtrak doing well managing what they have received from taxpayers?
Well, I think Amtrak has done the best that it can. There's always room for improvement, certainly with respect to the Northeast Corridor, which is the section of Amtrak that I regularly take here to Washington, D.C., and the section that runs from Boston to Washington, D.C. It is extremely profitable. There are financial challenges with respect to other areas of the country that need to be evaluated and looked at, but I am not one that thinks we need to pull the plug on Amtrak or privatize it. It's not clear to me that any passenger rail system in the world is actually profitable. And so the reason why Amtrak requires government support is that the use of public money in this particular instance is designed to create a public benefit, which is the capacity to travel from city to city, from state to state, from different parts of the country via rail.
It's operated at a loss every year since 1971. Why should Congress now give it even more money because of what happened in Philadelphia?
Well, we want to make sure that we protect the safety of those passengers, those Americans who utilize Amtrak, but we do need to reevaluate whether there are routes throughout this country that make sense in present-day 21st century America. Certainly as it relates to the Northeast Corridor, it's extremely profitable. There are other routes throughout the country that may be antiquated and outdated. Perhaps we should reevaluate their continued usefulness.
So you're on board with possibly shutting those routes down?
I'm not necessarily on board with it. I'm saying that it's reasonable to take a look at the present-day usefulness of some of those routes that have been unprofitable since their onset, or certainly in recent times. But I'm not going to rush to judgment in terms of shutting Amtrak down, pulling the plug, and or privatizing it. That would certainly not be the appropriate approach. You know, the men and women who work on Amtrak, who I encounter every week, are hardworking individuals. They do a tremendous job. We want to continue to support them. They provide a great service. And by and large, that service has got to continue unimpeded.